Hello, sorry I'm moving around a little bit. Wait for the spinning circle of doom to stop. Here we go. Hi, how are you? Sorry I'm a bit wobbly. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope you are doing well wherever you are and feeling healthy. And we are still in our cold snap in North Queensland, which is delicious. Welcome reprieve from many, many months of heat, and it's so nice to wear lovely, warm, cozy clothes and to put a duvet on the bed at night and snuggle down. I'm really, really enjoying that. But the flip side is that children are more prone to stuffy noses, and sniffles and colds are not really welcome anywhere at the moment. So my eldest has managed to negotiate a day at home because her nose is a bit stuffy. And it's funny because I now think that children have this whole new power in the world to claim stuffy nose, sore throat. You have to kind of just go with it for the moment. But this is going to continue, I think, for many years, where children get to play the snuffy nose or sore throat card, and we just have to capitulate. But we've already started school activities, and she's having brain snack at the moment, so I'm sure it will be a fun day with her at home. So today I should be on a flight from London to Istanbul. It's the 27th of May, and I would be flying to Istanbul for the Champions League final, where I will have had a team of 30 people working with me, but instead I'm still at home. And instead, what I'm doing today is I'm zooming off to Denver, Colorado at 10 a.m. So that's in 45 minutes time. And then at 11 a.m., I'm zooming off to Melbourne. And I've got 2 interviews scheduled today to talk about the book and also to be a part of an Empowered Women series for the lady in Denver, Colorado, and to talk about an article I wrote last week for Kiddipedia magazine called Am I Doing Enough? And my cost price iceberg model that I presented in that article, which talks about the hidden costs of doing and spending more time doing and less time being, and how COVID isn't generally forced us to be more in being mode as opposed to doing mode. And that's actually a good thing for us. So, with the challenges that COVID has presented in our life of work changing, financial impacts of all of that, and, the stuff that we've had to stop doing, there are different opportunities to be, opportunities to zoom off to Denver and Melbourne at the same time in one day with just a quick cup of coffee in between. So that's kind of exciting, new and different. And just to kind of brings me on to the book, really. So obviously the audiobook is zooming around the world. It's now live on more than 6 different commercial platforms. I think by the end of this month, it should be live on all kind of 14 commercial platforms. So that's really, really exciting. And in terms of the paperback and ebook, we've just last night actually finished the final proofing amends. And one thing I've learnt as a first-time author, that when you go from manuscript stage to full-blown book layout stage, every imperfection in your writing, your grammar, your spelling, and sentence structure really jumps out at you. So when I was narrating the book for the audiobook version, it kind of flowed naturally because I was reading it from manuscript form. It wasn't in full layout mode yet, and it was all in my words. So obviously I knew the messages that I wanted to convey and how the story flowed. So it's much easier to narrate a book actually than it is to proof a written book, because then you become, very conscious of the written word and any mistakes. And, when you're mass printing a book, you want it to be as good as it possibly can be. So we've taken a little bit more time on that in the full layout mode and proofing it whatsoever, because I feel comfortable if at some stage in the future a mistake is noticed, if I've given a really good chance to iron out any glitches before it goes to print. So that's kind of what we've been doing, which has taken a little bit longer. And I had hoped to have the printed book by now, end of May. So for those that have ordered it, I apologise. And I plan to send you an email later today anyway. But equally, hopefully in the next few weeks, with restrictions lifting even more, I can actually get out and about and share the book as well and start dropping it off to bookshops and things like that. So, things happen for a reason, and I know that in good time the book will be ready and I can do what I want to do with it. But it's brilliant to be able to get reviews back from people from the audiobook all over the world and know that that is now doing its thing and having an impact, which is what was my ultimate goal, really. So it's been a good experience in terms of the difference between audio and printed book. But I'm grateful that I had the chance to do the audio book because then my message of health and wellness and my story can start impacting people right away, and the printed book can follow. So that's cool. So I wanted to actually, what I've been doing this week is thinking a lot more about and researching about emotions on our physical health. Because if you remember last week, I had all my blood tests. I've now been back to the doctor on Monday and I have a clean bill of health. And, he wanted to know, what I've been doing in the last few months. And, we tracked kind of my journey from when I first met him last year all the way through until now, both in my blood tests, but also in my other health aspects, such as mental, physical, etc. And so it was really good to have a bit of a timeline with the doctor over the last 12 months because he's an integrative medicine practitioner. So he's also a GP, as well as he understands holistic health and medicine, as well as supplements and vitamins and positive psychology and meditation and yoga and exercise. So he kind of gets the whole kit and caboodle. So talking to him is really helpful. But and the other interesting thing is I weighed in at 62.8 kilos, which is a full 18 kilos lighter than I was, 1 year ago. And he looked back at the what I weighed when I saw him in May last year versus what I weigh now. And I said, yes, I know. And 6 months prior to that, I was, this. And again, I've stressed that this whole journey hasn't been about improving my weight or losing weight. It was about deciding to get healthy. And when I really started to notice a turning point in my physical health was when I started to get on top of my emotional health. And I talked a bit about that last week, how our emotions such as, anger, resentment, etc., fear can override our adrenals and our liver, etc. And throughout the course of this week, I've been doing a lot more research into not just the fact that how our emotions affect our health, but also how food affects our emotions. So what I've been working on at the moment is just kind of to summarize how that could translate for you based on a few different conditions. But something that was quite interesting in this documentary that I watched earlier in the week was about the simple lemon. So lemon has a compound in it, which is a compound that's not found in any other foods currently, but it is similar to the compound found in bile, which bile is produced in the liver and stored in your gallbladder. Now, I had my gallbladder removed when I was 21, and I've had a dodgy liver for the best part of 25 years, but now it's fine. The reality is that the compound in the lemon will help neutralize and support your bile production. So it helps breaks down all the fats. It also helps break down protein. So you then your bile becomes much more effective. So the compound within this lemon actually complements the compound within your bile, so that your bile becomes far more effective, and lemon helps detoxify the liver. And I've also just found a really, really interesting article about it, which I'll post in the comments of this live, because when I was presenting to the doctor with all my abnormal liver functions, I wasn't handed a lemon told, squeeze this every day and drink it. But after my run this morning, I came home and I'd bought a bag of lemons at the markets on Sunday. I squeezed fresh lemon juice and I drank it. And I've done that for the last few days. And it's interesting because, just a simple act of cutting a lemon, squeezing it, and necking it down um, is such an easy practice to implement. And if we could all do that, then many of us would probably have a lot less health issues, not just for the vitamin C content in citrus fruit, but for the fact that it supports our liver to detoxify our body, as well as help break down all the foods that we eat. So if you have gallbladder issues or liver issues, and I know someone watching who may, hi Clodagh, just stay there please for a second. Cut a lemon, squeeze it into a cup and knock it back. And that's my tip for today. So those are things I wanted to share with you. I am wearing this beautiful orange top, which I bought in 2003 in Sydney before I went to the World Championships in Poland. And it was the last and most expensive piece of clothing I bought before I left Australia 17 years ago. And when I bought this top and I got on a plane and I went to Poland for the World Championships, I told my family I would be gone for 2 years. And 16 years went by. And then finally I came home. And I wore this top to the World Championships in Poland. And then a few months later, it never really fitted me again. And so for the last 16 years, it's lived in plastic bags in lofts all over the UK, various other countries that I visited. And now, finally, it fits me, and I'm very much enjoy wearing it and running in it. And I'm very, very glad I kept it for the last X number of years, since 2003, and I can enjoy it again. So it just goes to show that once we get on top of our health, physical, emotional, mental health, not only can we probably go back to ourselves, but we can also have brand new selves. So that's my message for today. I will look forward to sharing with you probably next week a little bit more insights into food on our emotions and emotions on our health, and wishing you a wonderful week ahead. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, take care. Bye.